All right. So let's see. Um, all right. So I'm going to go through each slide and give a brief synopsis of the purpose of each slide. The first one that you can see, it says supporting the assessment plan for manual, has my name, has the code for the classroom, name of the classroom, has a professor's name, Cindy Marble. And of course it has 8/26/2023 because that is when I finished and submitted the assignment. All right. That is slide number one. Slide number two. Slide number two, it basically is a statement of purpose for the presentation. The purpose of this presentation is to provide an overview of the assessment plan for manual, a student who has exhibited areas of learning difference and challenge. The assessment plan for manual. I say I will be presenting on the assessment plan for manual. And I outline my name and everything like that. All right. So this one, I just go through the first two bullet points. It's a synthesis of historical perspectives. In this slide, we will explore the historical perspective, current legal and ethical standards, and landmark cases that have influenced the assessment and evaluation procedures for students like Manuel. The next one says, in the past, students with learning differences may have been overlooked or excluded from receiving appropriate assessments and evaluations. Sorry. And of course, I have I have the quote, not quote, but the citation. And at the end of this whole slideshow presentation, there is a reference page. Actually, it's two reference pages because their references had to carry over because there were so many of them I used. Next one, it continues the synthesis of historical perspectives. First bullet point says the multidisciplinary assessment process plays a vital role in the development of manual individualized education. Basically, his IEP, um, dealing with his accommodations and things of that nature. That all students with exceptionalities in both mental and intellectual. No, those kind of sound like the same term, but intellectual meaning it's all educational based, whereas mental it has to do with a specific exceptionality. All right. The next one is, excuse me. Next one is the role in the multidisciplinary assessment process. Special educators' role in the multidisciplinary process, assessment process. The special educator plays a crucial role in the multidisciplinary assessment and evaluation process. Special educators' role in the multidisciplinary assessment process. I talk about the role of the special educator in the multidisciplinary assessment and evaluation process. I talk about how it's very important, outlining the fact that educators like myself have to take into consideration the accommodations necessary for the student. Also, in addition to that, here in Louisiana, we use the Chicago STEP test assessment for ELA. I'm responsible for uh, collecting the data for for the administering of that test. So whatever data is collected by me or someone else, I'm to use that to create lesson plans for each student that needs specific accommodations based upon where they are with ELA as far as the test is concerned. Right. Um, this continues the multidisciplinary assessment process. Um, I talk about how the team is necessary and also give another reference for that. The end of this paragraph right here, I talk about the fact that we have to understand Manuel's abilities and challenges, and that we have to use a rigorous approach to help him and accommodate him in that. Then we have characteristics of assessment methods. I talk about the different methods we use to assess, and I just talked about how STEP is vital to that here in Louisiana specifically. I didn't really talk about that in this, but I talked about um, I talked about the overarching view of accommodations. And here we continue with the evaluation and assessment practices, safeguards that have to be in place for that reason. This is slide 8, in case you were not aware. Then slide 9, I talk about um, this based on the findings uh, based on findings for a manual. That's how we go about determining what the best method is to give him what he needs to have the best outcome. Like provide additional support, implement specific strategies, and development of personal plan. Right. All right. Then slide number 10. I conclude the slide by talking about again the multidisciplinary assessment and evaluation process for students like Manuel. We talk about how crucial ensuring that he gets the best things that are appropriate for him as far as support is concerned. The second bullet point is it's important for special educators to play an active role, meaning I can't just use standardized stuff all the time. I have to basically scaffold lessons to accommodate um, certain students. That's why I like the fact that our network coach for collegiate academies, specifically for Livingston Collegiate here in New Orleans, our coach Emma, she has provided me with a scaffold form of how to plan a lesson based upon uh, reading A to Z. There's a website called Reading A to Z. I pull books based on step level and I tailor the lesson to their step level. So that's a key accommodation. Like I said, this is slide 10. Of course, here's the reference slide. I have a list of my references. I've included this document in my submission. Hopefully, this was informative. Um, if I'm missing anything, please let me know. But this is the basis of my slideshow presentation, and also um, the things that I didn't include in the slide are all personal and specific to the needs of the students I teach. If it is not like that, it is specific to the plan um, for Manual as far as our lessons are concerned in this class. All right, so that's all I have. Hope you were informed. Thank you very much for your time.